My great-grandmother, people said she's a devil of a woman. Why they called her a devil of a woman? Not because she did anything evil or harmful to anybody, because she had a laughter that if she laughed, the whole street shook. Women of that generation were not supposed to laugh loudly. So she laughs in such a way that the whole street will hear her laughter. So they said she's a devil of a woman. I really pity that generation, not the ladies, the men. They had to live with women who cannot laugh. What a place to go back home to. You have a home where there is no laughter, what a place to go back to. No wonder many of them never went back, I think. So she was a laughing woman, so people said she's a devil. Another thing is she wouldn't die. She lived up to 113, 113 years of age. When I saw her, she was well over 100 years of age. Well, when she was I think 67 or 68, her husband passed away, who lived to his ripe old age. Some of her children died, some of her grandchildren died, a few great-grandchildren died, but she just won't die. She must be the devil. Nobody could appreciate that she was doing something right about her life. So I saw her in many different ways. When she was, after her husband passed away, she left the family, which was a well-to-do family, an agriculturally very active, rich family. She moved and set up a temple. She built a temple with her own hands. And that is for herself, no other deity, no goddess sitting there, she is the one. So you know why they called her a devil. Because either they had to accept that she is God or they had to call her devil. So when we as children went there in vacations, which was only 30-40 days in a year, she always came there to spend time with children. So I saw her in certain conditions. In the morning when breakfast is given to her, she would take this breakfast and feed it to the ants, the sparrows and squirrels. She would feed them and people around her who are self-appointed advisors, as I also have, they will say, "Hey, old woman, you're throwing all your food all over the place. If you don't eat and you do these things, you will die soon." They all died. She lived on. And she would be sitting there and ants are eating this food, she would be sitting there with tears dripping down her cheeks, blissed out. I was just 4 or 5 years of age. For me, those days we are wearing shorts and walking around, these ants are a big problem. They get up on your legs and create… Maybe you've not gone and stood on an ant home for a long time, you must try it, it's quite an experience. Yes, it is. So I go about jub with the ants. I'm trying to reduce their population. She would never stop me from doing that. At the same time, she would be shedding tears. So I would ask, "What are you so emotional about these ants?" She would just let out a hoot of laughter and say, "Someday you will know." It took me over 20 years for me to realize what was happening with her. This is life. If you're willing, the experience of every life around you becomes yours. This is when your life becomes profound. Otherwise, your own thought and emotion, this little rubbish going on in your head, it keeps you busy for a whole lifetime. You have promised me you will look more at life and less at phone screen and less at your own thoughts and emotions. See, they are your thoughts and your emotions. You can make them whichever way you want. Hello? You can make them whichever way you want, but right now they are out of control and you think it's a drama being played somewhere else. You think it's a world by itself. This happened. On a certain day, a lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man staring at her. Then the man started coming closer and closer and closer. He came so close to her, she could even feel his breath. She trembled, not in fear. And then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream. What's happening in your head is your dream, don't make too much fuss about it. It's very, very important that you understand the value of your existence, because as you sit here, since you came and sat here, you are 2 hours closer to your grave. Is that news for you? You are 2 hours closer to your grave. What is ticking away is not the clock, what is ticking away is life itself. If you understand the most precious thing that you have is just rolling away like this, you will feel life. If you feel life, nobody has to tell you what's happening in this world in terms of life. You may not know the political news, but you will know the existential news, because existentially you are life. I'm just checking, are you? You are life. After that you are a man, after that you are a woman, after that your thought process, your emotions, your professions, your castes, creeds, religions, nationalities, all that comes later. First and foremost your life, and that's all you got. Once we take that out of you, there is really nothing in you. There is nothing of any worth except getting rid of your body back into the soil.